You know, I have a set of resource, an account with certain type of resource kept for things, intervention outside our own ministries. Interventions, all kinds of interventions. There are things, if I tell you, you won't believe. You see how many churches were built without. One time it was an elderly man that has labored in the kingdom. He has so labored. And one day, one of his pastors contacted me. I know him when we were much young. He used to come and teach us about marriage. And years have gone. I've never been to their church and all that. One of his, and I went there. I cried throughout the service. I was apologizing to God. You know what I was apologizing? If you see the place as they were, the man has aged. Now he's finding it hard to get up. He doesn't have a car. The place was, you know, they laid the foundation of that building many years ago, and it was just like that. So dust, they were doing praise and worship, dust was coming from the ground everywhere. And I was invited to preach, but I was apologizing to God. I didn't know when that crying followed me to the pulpit. And I said to God, I'm so sorry. I'm one of the men he impacted when he was strong. I didn't know that things were like this. And I gave instructions. Some of our men came with me. I said, the next morning, this is Sunday, the next morning, 8 a.m., mobilize all the workers. Come in here. I want this place raised. Build this house. Finish it. Furnish it. When you complete, call me. Then I'll come back. I told them I cannot preach because I'm guilty. I'm one of those that drank this man's breast, and now the breast is full. You know how your mom, some of them were prettier than you, but you sucked their breast until it went flat, and now that it's flat, you call her old woman. You insult her, you do it. That's why God will not allow any child that does that to live long. But it's the same thing in ministry. The longevity of your ministry. And so I said that God gave me that heart. I understood that it's beyond the church that we pioneered. It's beyond the micro, that's what. No, that this thing is about his kingdom, his purpose on the earth. I understand the importance, the significance of this project to heaven. That's why you see me. That's why I can protect you with anything. I understand. I first went there to make inquiry. Oh, by the way, I hear from God. You might not see me every day prophesying, but I can tell you that one. Let me make it very clear. There are dimensions of glory you will not see till you become a giver. Should I say it again? There are dimensions of God and still worship. There are even certain things God cannot trust you till you become a giver. And you need to mature to that place where, like conferences like this, you come in. As the things are moving, you'll be looking out. Is there any problem I can solve here? Is there anything? And when you finish, you can't see anything. You just write one file and call the people and send it in. You don't even need anybody to preach to you, because you and your father are now partners. When you come to sonship, you start sharing responsibility with your parents. You know what you do? Daddy, mommy, how are we paying for this house? You notice that your family has not moved into their own property. There is rent. When you were a baby, you didn't bother. Your school fees were being paid. They were suffering and doing it. Now that you are matured, you pay. You know what I did with my spiritual father? I now paid for that house where he was staying for 2 years. When I saw that multitudes have been reaching over 50 countries, after 1 year, it was only 200,000 that was added to that 5 million. God said to me, don't worry. So I paid for where they were for, because we're now about to start the building project, and we went and built him a house from scratch. But anyway, it didn't take us up to 2 years. I think it didn't even take up to a full year, a couple of months, within 1 year we finished it. And then the project manager that helped me to do the whole thing, having been settled, said, Daddy, you have done your best, give it to him like that. I said, give it to him like what? I said, you guys have to furnish it. Go and find me somebody that understands furnishing. From every bedroom, the beds and all the things, you go to construct his life. We built him a library. He studies every equipment, table, reading, all the shelves. All he has to do is take his books and come in. Then you go the sitting room, then you go to mommy's section, because the kitchen, And while that project was going on, I was interacting with her to know some of the things that are important to her. I saw that she loves garden. At the back, we built her a massive farm garden. So we got enough land that will accommodate that. There now, when I come visiting that house, there is nothing. All these fruits you get in Israel, from fig, from this, is in her garden. I've seen all those things. She has a greenhouse. She has all sorts of things there. So we furnished it. And then we brought him to cut the rope and for the dedication. I didn't tell him while that was going on. That's why I paid for the house so they can relax. So we brought him. We said, we want to show you something. We took him there. I have never seen that man cry before. He anointed my head with his tears. The things he said that day. He don't have enough demons to take me out. You don't. Then I got home. God now paid me a visit and established 3 covenants I will not talk about here. Things that he said. Certain things I have fasted for 40. They tried to do, it wasn't rule. The realm of billions now look like change to me. If I tell you certain things, you will not believe them. And I don't like to talk about them because sometimes, there's a thin line between testimony and pride, a boasting. So I'm very careful. Yes, as long as he is happy up there, I'm fine. If I think that the way I said something has offended him, if I finish this meeting now, I'll be on the ground, repent. I will remove my clothes. I repent before I remove. Because to be maturity, a lot has to do with your use of tongue. Certain things, we started buying companies. I tell you how many companies were bought. But and there are things, what the Bible calls true wealth. God will not bring you near till you learn to be a giver.